What's up guys, welcome back to another video. And we are here walking around Ho Chi Minh City because Stacia is again taking over the video for a food vlog.
Yes, I basically starved myself all day so that I would have enough room to try 5 of the top dishes here in Ho Chi Minh City. A few pretty typical dishes, and then I'm trying to get into some exotic foods again for you guys a little bit later. We'll see if we can find some stuff. So we're starting out small with something that you guys have recommended that I try down in the comments. It's actually a coffee from Hanoi, but it's moved all the way to Saigon because it's super popular. It is an egg coffee. Essentially, an egg coffee originated from the shortage of milk that was being experienced in Vietnam in the mid-1900s. So they adapted to use egg yolk and sweetened condensed milk in their coffee, and it tastes so good that it's still around today. So I'm excited to try it. It's so much thicker. This is amazing. Whoever thought of egg coffee is a guy who originated in Hanoi. The guy's a genius. So being a bartender for so many years, I am no stranger to having eggs in drinks. And essentially what it does is just beefs up the texture of whatever you're drinking. There's a tiny, tiny bit of egg flavor in the froth, but really it's just like a creamy, amazing topping to your coffee. It tastes a little bit like eggnog, and I could put brandy in here and be very happy. I am going to enjoy this egg coffee, and then we will move on to the next few stops. So we decided to stand in line at this more popular place. I believe it's called Banh Mi Huynh Hoa. It's loaded with deli meat. This is what I want to see. This is what I need. A bunch of chilies and fresh cilantro and pickled vegetables. And I watched them slather like a ton of mayonnaise and pate on this, so I'm really excited to try this one. The processed meat is super salty, and then you get freshness from the cucumbers and cilantro, and then spice from the chilies. This is fantastic. The bread is really crispy on the outside and soft on the inside, and my mouth just keeps watering, so hold on, pardon me. I haven't tried too many banh mi's in my lifetime. This is only number 2, but I would have to say stop here if you're in Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City. So I'm about halfway through the sandwich, and I know I need to stop because we have a lot more food to eat today, but I just wanted to tell you guys, this is the best sandwich I've ever eaten in my entire life. No bullshit, not kidding, not exaggerating. This is the best sandwich I've ever eaten. So come here. All right guys, we are back on the Anthony Bourdain food trail to a place where he came called Banh Xeo 46. And you can see here, this amazing thing is essentially a Vietnamese pancake that's made out of rice flour. And that's one thing I love about Vietnam. They make a lot of things with rice flour and rice noodles, so it's naturally gluten-free if you're a dork like me and like that kind of stuff. So this is a giant rice pancake that's filled with shrimp, bean sprouts, onions, and maybe some garlic. So I guess the way to eat this is to rip a piece off and wrap it in these amazingly fresh pieces of lettuce. There's some Thai basil down here, and then you have like all your spicy condiments. So I'm assembling my wrap, 2 pieces of greens, some Thai basil. Just take a huge chunk of pancake, put it in my lettuce, go for some vinegar, a little bit of spice. Here goes nothing. The pancake itself is really crispy on the outside, but it's not too oily, which is perfect. I love that in Vietnamese cuisine, there's all these fresh vegetables all the time. It kind of brightens up the dishes. They're not as heavy. This is really freaking tasty. So if you do plan on coming here, they actually have 2 different service periods. One is in the morning, which is super busy, and then one starts at 4 p.m. till I think about 9 or 10 p.m. and that's the service period we're in right now. It's a lot more chill. There's way less people here. So if you're coming and you want to try this pancake, I would suggest coming after 4 p.m. So as you know, no Vietnam food tour would be complete without a bowl of pho. Now I'm not gonna lie, this is not the pho restaurant I wanted to come to, but it was within walking distance of the last place we were at. So It is still super famous, and I wanted to show you guys what it's like because it's on all the top 5 pho lists in Ho Chi Minh City. The place is called Pho Hoa Pasteur, and it's on Pasteur Street, which is one of the most famous like food streets in all of Ho Chi Minh City. Pho is pretty interesting. The base of the soup came from a traditional French soup, but during the colonization period, the Vietnamese turned it into their own version, which is now one of the most famous bowls of soup in the entire world. The soup originated in northern Vietnam, but it came down to southern Vietnam and they kind of did their own take on it. The northern Vietnam pho has this clear broth. It's supposed to be one of the best phos in the entire city, so I do want to try it and let you guys know how it is. The way to eat pho in Vietnam, especially in southern Vietnam, is to douse your soup with a bunch of fresh vegetables and bean sprouts. And then, this is a southern Vietnam thing, hoisin sauce, which is sweet and like plum-like. And then there's like a hot chili sauce as well. I put a chili because I love heat, and I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of lime. The soup itself is filled with rice noodles, and I got the rare beef version. That's kind of the traditional version, but you can also get it in chicken or beef meatballs or any of those things as well. Oh yeah, and these, which are on the table for you, but just be careful because if you decide to eat them, they're 5,000 dong each, which is super cheap, but it's kind of like their way of upselling you. This is just fried dough. Hell yeah, that's good. This is tasty. Definitely save room for one of those. Good. Very, very simple. There's a tiny, tiny fattiness to it, probably from whatever bones you're cooking the broth with, but generally it's super clean. On the scallions for a little bit of flavor, but what I'm super excited about is this raw beef. So it looks like minced beef, and it is seriously raw. A lot of places will do sliced beef, which is like quickly pan-seared, keeping it still pretty raw, but this is like raw ground beef. So I'm gonna dunk it into the soup and hope it just cooks a little bit. Now for the noodles. So another big difference between southern and northern Vietnamese pho is that the southern has smaller noodles. Noodles are good, really tender. Again, that really nice clean flavor, but I'm gonna go for some beef this time. Very earthy, but there is a nice like beefy, gamey-ish flavor. I would say overall, I would want way more of this. What I like about this version is that it's not too salty because I hate salty soups, but it's not. It's nice and clean. It's a really good bowl of soup. I would eat it again. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite pho place is, because we definitely have a few more weeks left to try. So we just finished eating. It was pretty good, but one interesting fact that I forgot to tell you guys inside, this place has been around for over 50 years and it's the only location in Ho Chi Minh City. However, they have franchises and chain stores all over America. So if you've been to one in America, I would love to hear how it is. I'm super interested to try it when we get home and kind of compare the two. We have come to a Quan Oc, which is essentially a snail restaurant, and they had like 10 pages of different snail dishes you can choose from, and here in Vietnam, eating snails like with friends over a beer is like a nice social outing, so it's pretty popular. I got 2 different types of snails to try. This is my first order. These are sea snails. They're fried in chili and salt. These ones in particular were pretty expensive. They were 220 dong for this plate. So let me know in the comments if that's normal or reasonable, or if I completely just got overcharged. My first snail experience. They just like slither right on out of here. Wow, really, really salty. I can see why people would eat this with beer, but it's like a perfect bar snack. The texture kind of reminds me of like an overcooked mussel. They're good. Like an easy little snack. I could totally see eating these with a bunch of friends and drinking. On to the second type of snail. This is a sucking snail. So they're snails cooked in a green coconut milk curry sauce. So as you can see, there's nothing to poke and pull here, so you literally have to put the whole thing in your mouth and suck until you get the snail inside. It's so hard. I couldn't do it. Who knew that I'd be terrible at sucking things? Alright, it's coming out. So awesome. How does it look? Damn, that's a thing. That has like eyes and shit. This is, woo. Looks like a little baby sea monkey or something. This is serious. Alright. No. That one, ooh. The sauce itself is super good. It's like a coconut garlic sauce. But the snail, once you suck it out, kind of tastes like you're chewing on like algae or something. Because they pluck these suckers out of the Mekong Delta River, which is probably pretty dirty. So you're tasting like everything that's in the water as well. Very intense, earthy, oceany, rivery flavor on the inside. The sauce is good. But overall, it was a good experience to try snails. I'm so full that I don't even think I can keep my eyes open any longer. But to be completely honest, if I lived here, I would be such a fat ass because I would eat that banh mi for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm not even kidding. I can't stress enough how much you need to go there and try that sandwich. Everything else was really good as well, but after tasting probably the most delicious thing I've ever eaten in my entire life, it was really hard for anything to live up to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you aren't already, and we have a lot more Vietnam videos to come. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
See ya!